So if astrology is so real, then why can one Gemini meet another Gemini and they may have some similarities, but they also have some major differences in their personality? Well, in this video, you're gonna find out. Hello, beautiful people. Your moon sign reveals your emotional disposition, how you feel about things. And because we're motivated much of the time by how we feel, this can have a major influence on our personalities, especially in romantic relationships because we are operating much of the time from our emotions. So in this video, I will be uncovering the truth behind Gemini and how having each moon sign will influence their personality. And all I ask in return is that you show a little bit of love by hitting that like button. It's really easy, it's free, and it doesn't take a lot of effort. Just a little tap, a baby tap. Okay, no more wasting time. Here are the 12 faces of Gemini, a brief personality description of Gemini based on what moon sign they have. Let's go. Okay, so someone who is Gemini with Aries Moon will be very driven by how they feel about things. They will have a passionate, emotional nature, and when that fire within begins to burn, they act and they act quickly. They will be impulsive and intelligent, which will lend to them being fast thinkers in the moment, and if they were the types to try their hand at improvisation, they would be excellent. They have a great sense of humor and a sharp tongue, meaning that they might have a tendency to say things that can be taken the wrong way unintentionally by overly sensitive types. This creates a personality that may find themselves in conflict often because of the fact that they don't think before they speak, and in the end, they aren't really too concerned with what other people think about them anyway. If you've seen my other videos, you probably know that Geminis are known for getting bored easily. Well, a Gemini with Aries Moon will just amplify that fact. In fact, when they do get bored, they stir up drama just to keep themselves entertained. Now, when it comes to their professional pursuits, they will usually find a way to be in control or to be the boss of a situation. They will do well in the world of entertainment because they have an active, creative mind because of their Gemini sun and the fiery ambition of Aries Moon, which can assist them in manifesting their ideas into reality. They are very true to themselves, and although they may have some emotional outbursts at times, they don't get distracted by emotional situations. So the truth is, even if they do piss a few people off along the way, they will for sure reach success and on their own terms. Now, when it comes to love, a Gemini with Aries Moon is flirtatious and will absolutely go for what they want. So if you're interested in someone with this chart and they haven't made their move on you, then more than likely they're probably not that into you. Now, even if they are into you, you may get some kind of attention, but keeping their attention can be the challenge. They can for sure be relationship material, but whoever they are with must be the type that is motivated and complex in the way that they can keep their Gemini with Aries Moon guessing regarding what's next. If a Gemini with Aries Moon gets bored with you, or if things become too routine, you may find that they are gone from your life just as quickly as they came into it. In relationships, they are also pretty bossy because of that Aries Moon of theirs, but you can at least rest assured that they will keep life fun and full of excitement. They can be unpredictable, but are also very intelligent and can get quick results in a short amount of time when they set their minds to anything, really. They will usually have quite a few relationships throughout their life and will most likely settle with someone that is grounded to counterbalance their tendency to be all over the place, but someone that is also strong, independent, and creative enough to keep them interested. So overall, a Gemini with Aries Moon is a personality that is quick-witted, a great communicator, they are creative, and at times bossy and ambitious. They are very passionate and clear on what they want, but someone that can also get bored easily, that doesn't take rejection in any form well, and they do have a bit of a temper. So if you're up for an exciting but possibly short and at times bumpy ride, then this may be the perfect match for you. Okay, Gemini with Taurus Moon. Now, Gemini and Taurus are two very different energies, so you will find that this personality is much different than the usual Gemini. For one, they are much more reserved and shy than most Geminis, and if not exactly shy, then they definitely are laid back, meaning most Geminis get restless when nothing is going on. They must create some sort of action, but a Gemini with Taurus Moon is perfectly content to just relax and chill. They can absolutely be hardworking, especially if someone is depending on them, but having the need to create or initiate initiate excitement. Nope, that's not how they really are. They embrace excitement, they enjoy a good time, but life is just as good to them when they're cooking and enjoying a quiet time at home as it is when they're out getting rowdy with friends. They're adaptable and not high-strung at all. Now, they can every now and again have bouts of laziness, but they are short-lived, and when it's go time, they go hard and they deliver fantastic results. They will be creative like most Geminis, and they have the organizational skills of Taurus that, when implemented, will set the stage for a very successful and dependable personality. The key phrase is when implemented. They must be inspired and motivated, otherwise they may find themselves doing a lot of things here and there but not getting much done overall. They are very charming and likable and usually leave a great impression on whoever they encounter. The challenge for this personality is handling stress. They tend to indulge in comforts or things that aren't so good for their health when they are stressed out. So if there are any Geminis with Taurus Moon personalities out there listening to this, instead of choosing a vice as a source of comfort, you would do really well to meditate, work out, or just even go for a calming walk when stressed out. Otherwise, stressful moments can lead to unhealthy habits, and we know where that leads. But overall, if this personality can implement consistency and motivation into their life, they can be very, very successful. Now, when it comes to love, this version of Gemini is wired to be attracted to much more of a traditional situation. Yes, they will be flirtatious, and yes, they will have that natural Gemini sex appeal, but they will also desire consistency, loyalty, and deep loving connection when it comes to their romantic world. Their needs are pretty standard, and when it comes to love, what you see is what you get. If they love you, they are in it for the long haul. But they must feel appreciated, and like all Geminis, they must feel a sense of freedom within the relationship. If someone has too many rules, or if they're with someone who complains a lot, then that will turn them off very quickly. So overall, a Gemini with Taurus Moon is likable, friendly, and talented, a problem solver who gravitates towards the simpler things in life, but still loves hanging out with friends, having new experiences, and expressing their creative nature, all while being capable of deep, committed love, but only with someone who trusts them enough to give them the freedom and space to be themselves with no judgment, and they must have just enough spice in their life to keep them interested, but just enough tradition to give them the security that lasting love can bring. Okay, Gemini with Gemini Moon. Now, this personality can enter a talking contest and win every time. Their mind goes a mile a minute and their mouth can actually keep up. They have non-stop ideas and a non-stop desire to explore what this world has to offer. This is a very intelligent personality, but their biggest challenge is learning focus and consistency. If they can strengthen their ability to concentrate and stick to a long-term plan of action, then they will have a major potential for success. They will do well at any profession that involves networking, as they aren't afraid to approach anyone, and they have that lively conversation that they're very capable of. Like all Geminis, they will be creative and ambitious, and like all Geminis, they will get bored easily. The thing is, with all of these traits, because they are double Gemini, you basically have to double the intensity when assessing this personality type. They will call themselves misunderstood much of the time because Gemini being the sign of the twins and then being double Gemini, well, that will basically mean that they're quadruplets. So they can quickly shift from one of four energies, so they won't consistently be any one thing other than changeable, which is fantastic for adapting, but it is very difficult for more practical types to interact with them. They may get a bad rap for being all over the place, but this isn't because they're airheaded or scattered. They just have many different ways of looking at life, and they change it up periodically to keep it interesting. They can be successful though, as long as they don't pick a profession that is too monotonous or too detail oriented. Otherwise, they stand the risk of getting bored and losing focus. Now, when it comes to love, this personality will absolutely need variety. Now, this does mean that more than likely they aren't on the search for a long-term relationship. They are usually just excited to experience new people and new connections without the heaviness that long-term working toward marriage relationships can be. Now, they of course can find themselves in long-term relationships and actually be very satisfied in them, but they must take their time to get there, and they must experience the freedom to explore their options first. They aren't the overly emotional types, and they require an intellectual connection first and foremost. This is one of those personalities that could naturally handle and even enjoy a polyamorous situation. They can also be fulfilled by traditional one-on-one commitment, but their partner must be intelligent, they must wants to be adventurous and open to exploring the experiences that life has to offer. Someone too laid back and predictable will more than likely not stand the test of time. So overall, a Gemini with Gemini Moon will be enthusiastic, they'll be exciting, unpredictable, fast on their feet, and unique with an active mind and a loving heart, but they for sure filter the world more through their thoughts than they do through their emotions. So if an intellectual connection is what you consider to be romantic and you value having and giving independence while also being loving, accepting, and open-minded, then this personality may be exactly what the love doctor ordered. Okay, Gemini with Cancer Moon. Now this personality is very loving, affectionate, and caretaking, but they're also very affected by their surroundings, and because of this can find themselves having many ups and downs throughout the day. They place interacting with the people that they are close to, like family and friends, at the top of their priority list. They're a bit more shy and reserved than the usual Gemini when they are in unfamiliar territory, but once they are comfortable, they are very outgoing, playful, and they have a great sense of humor. Like most Cancer Moon combinations, this version of Gemini will go from 0 to 100 very quickly if they feel that someone they love needs protection or support in any way. So if you're in a relationship with them, make sure you don't say anything that they can take personally about their friends and family, because that's when they go from that 0 to 100 and it ain't pretty. They will have a very diverse group of friends because they connect on an emotional level with people as well as on an intellectual level. They should have no problem finding success, especially if they pursue a profession that utilizes their incredible creativity and their unique ability to adapt to almost any situation. This personality will also have great intuition and will usually know if they like you based on an initial feeling that they get when the two of you first interact. Their success in life will have so much to do with how capable they are when it comes to processing their emotions in a productive way and not allowing emotional distractions to get in the way for what is best for their higher self. Now, when it comes to love, this personality will have a very youthful approach to romantic situations. They are romantic at heart and won't settle for anything less than what they feel to be true love. This doesn't mean that they aren't easily interested or at least excited to get to know someone if there's a spark. Actually, they are very inquisitive and curious, and those childlike qualities lead them to have an initial and quick surge of emotion, but quickly when they begin to analyze whether or not the relationship is headed towards a place of deep love and commitment, that's when it can end just as quickly as it began, because their initial excitement can quickly turn to discontent and then disconnect. But once they do find love, they are caretaking, compassionate, and intense, but they do require full focus, full devotion, excitement, and attention in order for their dark, moody nature to stay at bay. So if you're up for the challenge, then you will be greatly rewarded. Okay, Gemini with Leo Moon. Now this is one of those personalities where the sun sign and the moon sign are very compatible, so it results in a very likable and consistent personality that doesn't have much inner conflict. This personality will have a natural charisma and attractiveness that they are more than happy to use to their benefit. They are very social and generous with that positive energy of theirs. They can have a tendency to want things their way, and they aren't too happy when someone questions their motives or their way of doing things, but their frustration doesn't last long, and they let go of any anger as long as they can get right back to doing what it is that they wanted to do in the way that they wanted to do it in the first place. This doesn't mean that they aren't open-minded. They're very open-minded and very capable of compromise. They are just live and let live types, so they feel like if they aren't bothering you or asking you any questions, then why are you bringing them that energy? They are at their best in an environment that is focused and fun and filled with good times. They are capable of lifting almost anyone's spirits and much more prefer for things to be light-hearted than heavy or emotional. They will more than likely achieve success as long as they have a clear direction in terms of where they intend to go and specifically what it is that they want to achieve. And they need to find a healthy balance between work and fun, but they definitely have the intelligence and the ambition and the drive for success. Now, when it comes to love, although most Geminis want variety, the Leo Moon energy will actually steer them more towards focusing and being loyal with one person. So they thrive and find contentment in a monogamous relationship. They are adventurous in love and romantic and think in terms of finding a soulmate. They do need a partner though that can keep up with their active nature, but this should be easy because they inspire the people that they're around to be excited about life's possibilities. They are great communicators, but at times have to be pushed to discuss the more intense topics, but you will get honesty with them. One thing that can bring out their not so amazing side is when they feel like they're not getting the appreciation that they deserve. So give them what they feel like they deserve, and you will have an intelligent, fun-loving, romantic, and open partner on your hands, but make them feel slighted or underappreciated, and you will see their capability to be egotistical, prideful, and stubborn rear its ugly head. Even at their worst though, they talk things out and they're all about getting on the same page and getting right back to enjoying life and all that it has to offer. Okay, Gemini with Virgo Moon. Now, both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, and this lends to this personality being very capable of picking up information and sifting through that information quickly in order to identify the best use for that information. So intelligent is definitely one of the ways that this personality can be described. They can be a bit more reserved than the usual Gemini because they are very perceptive and they like to first assess a situation and the people in it before they decide how they're going to proceed. More times than not, you will find them in a pleasant mood with a smile on their face, but when the winds of frustration or indecision blow in, they can quickly shift, and not to necessarily get angry or reactive, but just they'll shift away from the agreeable version of themselves that some people may be used to. We all know that any placement of Virgo is going to bring that energy of a perfectionist to that personality. So this would lend to them being hard on themselves in terms of when they are pursuing their goals, especially their creative goals, they will have many moments of discontent simply because they may feel like they're not measuring up to their own standards. Because of this, they may battle with feelings of insecurity or doubt. So if they can learn to be a little less hard on themselves, then they will be much more likely to not only experience success, but to also experience fulfillment right along with it. Now, even though they are friendly, they can also be pretty argumentative in terms of debating a point, and more sensitive types may take this as aggressive or angry behavior, but it really isn't. They are just very practical and unemotional, but very passionate when it comes to their pursuit of the truth, and their expression of this is not only passionate, but it is persistent. So if you aren't into a spirited debate that can go on and on and on until they prove their point, you might want to steer clear from stating your opinion, because if you do and they're within an earshot of what you had to say and they disagree with you, well, they're not holding back. They will come out ready to dive into that debate. Now, when it comes to love, they are active and grounded. They take a practical approach to love. So if you're in a relationship with them, just know that they are thinkers much more than they are feelers. They can detach emotionally when necessary and never make decisions simply based on how they feel. More than likely, they will be more inclined to passionately dating around as opposed to settling down. But if they do decide to settle down, it will not be taken lightly. And although they can be loyal, if the relationship turns out to be different than what they feel like they were signing up for, then they're out. They require trust and open, direct communication, and they will give the same in return. But if the relationship is of a less serious nature and more on just the dating vibe, then there will be much left unexpressed simply because they feel no need to go that deep when the connection is more lighthearted and a little more surface and casual. So in relationships, yes, they are fun and they're great conversationalists and even fascinating at times with their expression and knowledge, but they won't be overly romantic with their sights set on marriage, kids, and a white picket fence. So if that's what you want, then just know that they are capable, but it's a long, long road to travel to get them to the place where they feel like the next logical step would be that scenario. So you might want to look elsewhere. But if unique experiences, passionate physical connection without so much emotional drama is more your style, then they just might be the perfect match for you. Okay, Gemini with Libra Moon. Now this is another one of those situations where the sun sign and the moon sign are very compatible. So you will get a personality that has a thought process that is in alignment with their feelings much of the time. This double air combination is consistent, they're social, they're friendly, and they prioritize connections with people. They will do their best to bring positivity to a situation, and they thrive when they're able to use their time in a constructive but fun way. Now, with all of this air in their chart, their energetic makeup will definitely be one of a talker. So if you're interacting with them, you will never be without good conversation. Yeah, no uncomfortable silences there. When it comes to the professional world, they would do very well as a teacher, and honestly, any profession that they decide to pursue, they have the potential to do well in due to the fact that they are highly motivated to gain respect by the public and their peers. In addition to that, they are great at networking and using their charm and charisma to bring whatever vision they have to life. They also do possess leadership qualities and work well in a group because they are a great source of ideas and they also have a pretty open mind. The drawback is they may come up against more uptight and practical personalities that see them as airheaded or flighty. All in all though, as long as they implement focus and consistency into their action plan, they should have no problem establishing independence and thriving in a professional way. Now when it comes to love, this personality will not have a hard time manifesting a partner because they are so charming and so likable. The issue is they may have a hard time sustaining a relationship because they can find themselves being unsure about the connection. They also tend to sacrifice their own needs for the person that they're with, which can lead to resentment, and they also shy away from addressing serious issues until they become so serious that the road to resolution becomes much steeper to climb. So if there are any Geminis with Libra Moon out there and you're watching this, it will be very important for you to implement two things into your relationship in order for you to manifest a connection that is fulfilling and sustainable. Number one, it is really important for you to address issues as they arise. A Gemini with Libra Moon does not like conflict, but avoiding a topic to avoid conflict doesn't solve the problem, and any issue gone unattended only grows. So it is best to address issues early on. Number two, yes, compromise is good, but it is important to communicate your needs as well without feeling guilty or being afraid that you might scare someone off by making certain requests or asking certain questions. For you, communication and freedom is paramount, so give your partner the opportunity to show you that they're capable of rising to the occasion for you by communicating your needs. So overall, a Gemini with Libra Moon is an optimistic individual that thrives in the social world, who is open-minded, romantic, and diplomatic, but they can also be inconsistent, moody, and easily thrown off course by emotional distractions. But with a little focus on addressing issues as they arise and practicality, this personality should thrive and will have a lot of love to give and receive. Gemini with Scorpio Moon. Now this is a mysterious and magnetic version of Gemini. You will have Gemini's standard friendly and likable disposition, but with Scorpio's mystery and intensity. This makes for a very unique version of Gemini. They will have a great sense of humor, but with a dark, cynical side to it, and they'll find humor when they see other people a bit uncomfortable by shocking statements or when they witness outrageous behavior. When it comes to their professional path, they have the perfect combination of great networking skills and focus. Gemini energy provides strength to the ability to not only make connections for themselves, but also to identify great connections for other people. This is the type of personality that is great at putting two people together and identifying who will bring out the best in each other and why. The Scorpio energy in this personality will be great at seeing through BS and diminish Gemini's tendency to be seen as surface or superficial. Now, the Scorpio moon energy will lend to them being a bit hidden emotionally, and it may even increase a probability for insecure thoughts. So if there are any Gemini sun signs with Scorpio moon people out there listening, then it will be a good idea and very beneficial for you to pick up some sort of spiritual practice that resonates with you. Whether it be meditation or prayer or even the right type of therapist, any teaching or practice that can help you process undermining thoughts will have a very positive influence on your overall mental health. Aside from the challenge of dealing with the Scorpio moon energy of intense mental chatter and the need to transform that energy, aside from that, this personality should have no problem reaching some level of success in their professional pursuits. They will be very trustworthy at work and they have a great work ethic. They just need to make sure that they keep their confidence and their ability to let things go when necessary in optimum working order. Now, when it comes to love, this personality loves deeply, and they are definitely drawn to long-term monogamous relationships. Where Geminis like variety, the Scorpio moon influence lends to desiring consistency and longevity. So you will get the fun-loving, inquisitive, good sense of humor, and good nature of Gemini with the intensity, mystery, and magnetic sex appeal of Scorpio. Now, in a relationship, it will take them a while to trust you. And because of this, whoever is dating them will definitely have some layers to peel back in order to reach the more vulnerable, trusting side of who they are. But if you put in the time and energy, you will be greatly rewarded. On the flip side, if you're in a relationship with them and you break their trust, they can definitely be forgiving, but more than likely, they will find some way to even the score. And even once they feel vindicated, it will be a long time, if ever, for you to get them back to a place where you do have their full trust again. But they are loving, devoted, passionate, and consistent in romantic relationships. So overall, a Gemini with Scorpio Moon is an interesting blend of social, adaptable, and also bold and unyielding when necessary. So if you feel like you have it in you to keep up, then they could be the perfect match for you. Okay, Gemini with Sagittarius Moon. Now, this is that situation where the sun sign and the moon sign are polar opposites. So you will get a personality that will go from one extreme to another and back again. They will absolutely be opinionated and be outspoken about it. They will be extremely intelligent and creative and have the potential to make an impact on the world because of their big ideas and their fearless pursuit of expression. This is a very powerful combination when it comes to achieving success in any profession, really. The challenge is they will definitely rub some people the wrong way on the way up. This is due to Gemini's tendency to have an opinion about almost everything, and Sagittarius' nature to be shockingly direct and outspoken without a single care of the way the message is received. So for sensitive types or overly politically correct types, this personality will be challenging for them to blend with in a positive way. This personality is not very patient and has a thirst for knowledge and adventure, so their life will be anything but boring. The challenge for them is when it comes to forethought. They can be impulsive, and though their intentions may be in the right place at the outset of some undertaking of theirs, they may find that either along the way or at the result of this adventure, they may have created some serious obstacles for themselves. So discernment would be a very helpful trait to implement into their personality. Now, when it comes to love, they will have no problem finding connections and experiences, and when they love deeply and passionately. The issue is sustainability. This personality has a very high standard in terms of what they require in order to feel like a relationship is worthy of their energy, time, and devotion. The situation will usually start off pretty strong, as most relationships do, especially with people that have a fire moon. However, when their tendency to judge comes into play, they can turn cold and distant, more logical than emotional, and begin to look elsewhere for the devotion and connection that they desire. So clear, direct, and effective communication is very important for this personality to be successful in love. Understanding early on what both parties require to remain excited by the relationship is so important when it comes to this personality being able to have that sustainable relationship that they deserve. They do tend to marry more than once, but if they make communication, transparency, and connection the priority early on, they should have success the first time around. The problem is they tend to put passion, excitement, and adventure high on the priority list, which is okay, but they would be much more successful revising that priority list to put those other traits that I mentioned a little higher. Overall, a Gemini with Sagittarius Moon is an independent person that is very bold and loves a challenge. They're capable of deep, passionate love, but they can sometimes find consistency and empathy a problem. But the one thing that I can guarantee, a relationship or connection with them would absolutely be unforgettable. Okay, Gemini with Capricorn Moon. Now, this personality is a very interesting combination of friendly, social, and polite, but also a bit detached and reserved. They're ambitious because of Gemini and Capricorn. They're both excited by the idea of setting and achieving goals, but this version of Gemini, because of that Capricorn moon of theirs, will actually be more willing to set their sights on one particular path and then stick to it. They may still have those what ifs playing in their mind though, because of the Gemini energy. What if I pursued this profession, or what if I gave that energy? But where other Gemini personalities would explore those what ifs, a Gemini with Capricorn moon will think more practically and simply just say, well, this is what's working, so I'm gonna stick with this. So focus plays in their favor. They may, however, lack a bit in intuition because they are so practical. For them, if it's not provable and right in front of them, they really won't give it much energy. So when it comes to their professional pursuits, they usually do get to some level of comfort and consistency, but at times they will feel unfulfilled because they know deep down inside that they are capable of more, and they may have some regrets for not at least attempting to feed their many talents. So if there are any Geminis out there with Capricorn Moon, then make sure not to sell yourself short in the name of practicality. Now, when it comes to love, because of that Capricorn Moon of theirs, they definitely prioritize security. So this does counterbalance some of that Gemini sun sign's desire for variety. Now, when I say security, that doesn't mean that they're gonna be with someone just for money. It just means that they factor in what type of life they're gonna have with this person. And when they do, it's more about practical practical requirements as opposed to just fun or intellectual connection. The challenge is at times they can seem too logical or cold with their emotions, and their partner may find themselves wanting more of a heartfelt interaction. Where they lack in romance though, they definitely make up for in pragmatism. So overall, a Gemini with Capricorn Moon is a personality that is charming, they're ambitious, but they can also be manipulative and evasive. So if you're the overly romantic type looking for a fairy tale, then you may want to look elsewhere. Actually, definitely look elsewhere. But if a strong partner that will love you and have your back but requires independence and freedom sounds enticing, then a Gemini with Capricorn Moon may be perfect for you. Okay, Gemini with Aquarius Moon. Now this is another one of those situations where the person's heart and their mind will be on the same page, and they will be on a quest for knowledge, interesting new experiences, all while expressing their individuality. They have the unique ability to see the big picture while organizing their thoughts in a very detailed way. Gemini is a mutable sign and Aquarius is a fixed sign, so they have great people skills and the ability to adapt, all while having the drive and focus to get the job done. So they shouldn't have much of a problem when it comes to achieving success, especially if they're in a profession that deals with the public in some way. They are very big on pushing boundaries and experimenting in life, all while challenging authority. So although they are definitely socially inclined and likable, they do still have that tendency to ruffle a few feathers along their journey. They are great at sniffing out opportunities and seizing the moment. They are quick-witted and intelligent and fast on their feet, so no matter what profession they choose, they are more than likely going to excel. Now when it comes to love, this is where things get a little tricky. They for sure are more thinkers than they are feelers, so you aren't going to find them being overly sentimental or even overly romantic. They for sure know how to enjoy the moment and connect on a romantic level, but they aren't big on talking about the past or remembering things like the date of the first moment the two of you had together. They absolutely require freedom, and they must be with someone that is self-confident and independent. You more than likely will find them in non-traditional relationships, meaning they may be with the same person for a long period of time, but they won't find it necessary to get married. They make their own rules and they won't follow tradition just for the sake of tradition. They are mysterious, they're unique, and they're entertaining, so they don't have a hard time attracting relationships. It's just the shape that the relationship will take is up in the air, and they're fine with that. They're in it for the experience, not for the label that society may put on it. So overall, a Gemini with Aquarius Moon is a personality that is authentic, they're unpredictable, with an active and creative mind and a knack for problem solving, but they can also be cold, they can be temperamental, and somewhat controlling and manipulative. So they are best suited for like-minded individuals as opposed to the whole opposites attract situation. Someone who is highly emotional and traditional will for sure crash and burn if they attempt a relationship with this personality. But someone that is adventurous, intellectual, and finds freedom romantic, well, that will be the perfect match for them. Okay, last but not least, Gemini with Pisces Moon. Now, this personality will be very creative, charismatic, ambitious, dramatic, and capable of deep, deep love. They will be social, but difficult to get close to initially because they are very intentional when it comes to guarding that heart of theirs. This is because they know when they do get hurt, how deep that pain can run. Now, when it comes to their professional pursuits, a Gemini with Pisces Moon is a double mutable sign, so they are very adaptable and they're great at networking. They are extremely sincere in their approach with others, and they have a flair for language which adds to their likability. If they go the artistic route, they will find that they are made for performance and expressing that creative energy of theirs. So if there are any Geminis with Pisces Moon personalities out there watching this right now, and you aren't sure exactly what career path you should take, just know the world of entertainment or any profession in the arts will absolutely be an environment that you will thrive in. They can also do well in other professions, but if they find themselves in a profession where tending to the details or doing mundane, tedious work is required, they will for sure be less than fulfilled. It is also very important to know that whatever profession they do choose, that the better they are at processing their emotions and channeling that energy in a productive way, the more likely they will be to become and sustain a level of success or status. Now, when it comes to love, this personality is a romantic at heart. They are driven by their emotions, and they are very capable of saying the right things at the exact right time to get exactly what they want. It is important that they are with someone that is also a giver, because if they find themselves with someone who's more of a taker, they may just find that they are being taken advantage of, and they'll probably find out when it's too late and the damage is already done. They can live a bit in a dream world, so having a rising sign that is practical practical will help them to counterbalance that energy. They can be very idealistic, so they will also be best suited with someone who also sees love in a poetic way, that wants to work towards creating and maintaining a bit of a fairy tale. But if you have two people that are working to manifest a fairy tale into reality, then who knows? They just might create the perfect dynamic for each other. A Gemini with Pisces Moon can for sure have moments of jealousy, and when they are thrown off emotionally, this can be a tidal wave that is very difficult to deal with. But overall, they are very generous, they're loving, they're understanding, supportive, and compassionate. It's just very important that they're with someone that does treat them the way that they deserve to be treated, because without that balance, it's easy for them to fall into self-destructive behavior. And once they do, it is quite the road to travel to get them back to health and balance. So overall, a Gemini with Pisces Moon is a spiritual, imaginative, loving personality with an immense wealth of creativity and capability, but they can also be inconsistent. They can use escape as a way to cope, and they can be distant with their true feelings when they feel unsafe. But with the right support and connection, this can be an amazing individual to experience love with. Okay, so there you have it. A brief personality description of the 12 faces of Gemini based on what moon sign they have. I hope you all found this information useful. If you did, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you've had any experiences with a version of Gemini that you would like to share, please do. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.